to a revitalized Australia 61-71 yesterday. And Argentina, perhaps the surprise package of round one, they lost yesterday to the USA 74-87. So it's Argentina in blue, and they have made the best start, 4-0 up. And Lithuania really do have to dig deep now. They were exposed yesterday against Australia as a team that doesn't go too far down the bench. And that 3 will definitely help their score. Luke Minus hits the first 3 of the game for Lithuania. So 4-3. It's Lithuania in white, the look-away pass again from Luke Minus. Praskevicius can't hit the turnaround, and Argentina a little bit fortunate there to get the loose ball going their way. Defeat today for either of these teams will seriously hamper their progress into the quarters. And the block shot there, Praskevicius gets the rebound, gets 2 and the bonus. And Lithuania hit the lead, it's 4-5. That wasn't the foul was on the follow-up. There's Coach Kazlaukas of Lithuania. And Lithuania definitely have an advantage in terms of support from the crowd. Praskevicius hits the bonus. So 6 in a row for Lithuania. And Argentina's number 9, Marcelo Milanesio, in his 4th World Championships. Veteran, 33 years of age. The 2 counts for Argentina. Simone hits 2, he'll get a bonus. And Coach Julio Cesar Lamas a little bit happier now. So 6 apiece with a bonus to come for Argentina. Surprise choices, coach, for Argentina. Beat the Australians in the first game of these championships, 62-66. So the appointment by the Argentinian Federation, well justified. Mascalinus. Praskevicius back to Mascalinus, and nice 2-man play there. Praskevicius restores Lithuania's lead at 8-7. Despite that win against the USA last week, last night's loss by Lithuania means that they simply have to win today to make any serious progress in the quarterfinals. The foul there against Lithuania's 13, Mascalinus. This is Milanesio. 12 is Oberto, the star so far of Argentina's campaign, but this is on the turnaround. This is from the Olympic Stadium in Athens. This can seat 20,000. Attendances in the afternoon and early evening games so far in this tournament have been very disappointing. We have to wait until Greece make their appearance before we get a full house. Oh, that's a nice fast break. Beautiful pass from Milanesio. And Nicola, who scored 26 points yesterday against the USA in that defeat, rams it home. So 8-9, Argentina by 1. Ainekis restores Lithuania's lead at 10-9. A key player for Lithuania is Ainekis. When he gets into foul trouble, they struggle. He's picked up 4 fouls very early on in all games so far. As yet he's clean. And the rebound, Karnišovas. Here's Ainikis on the high post. It's 10-9, Lithuania. Foul, holding foul inside. Argentina's number 7, Esteban de la Fuente. Well, referee not that impressed with that gesture by La Fuente. And Argentina call their first timeout. Remember, both these two teams lost in the first game of the second round. And what that means is that the losers of this game here will be really scrapping around for a quarter-final place. And even if they do make the last 8, they'll probably play Greece or Yugoslavia. So something to avoid there. And the way to avoid that is to win. This is the middle game in the second round. Tomorrow, Lithuania, they have to play the as yet unbeaten Spain. That's before today's games. And Argentina, well, they've got possibly the easiest of their 3 games in round 2. They will play the disappointing Brazilians. Disappointing as yet. Argentina, they won the first World Championships, and it was held in 1950. And they waited another 40 years before they staged the competition again. Well, having won the first of the World Championships in 1950, they could only manage 8th place in 1990. But since then, on the world stage, they've managed creditable performances. They've come 9th in the Atlanta Olympics and in the Toronto World Championships 4 years ago. And one of the key decisions taken by new coach Julio César Lamas was to leave out the star Argentinian player Hernan Montenegro. He left him out for discipline reasons, and as a result, he's done very well. One of the surprise packages here in Athens. They had a 2-1 record in the first round, including a very big win for them against Australia. But there, Oberto picks up his 2nd foul. And possibly the revelation of this Argentinian team so far. Fabricio Oberto, the number 12, has just picked up his 2nd foul. Preskevicius. And a long 3 attempt from Luke Minus. Hits the front of the rim and bounces out. Well, an offensive foul has been called against Argentina. And, well, if that was Oberto, then Argentina have real problems. And what's more, well, it's Coach Technical. Coach Technical against Coach Lamas. So 2 shots here and possession. Karnišovas makes them pay. 12-9. I make that the first Coach Technical of these championships so far. And from having possession, Argentina have squandered that, given away 2 points and given away possession. This Preskevicius. So 12-9, Lithuania lead with the 3 from Karnišovas. 15-9. So we'll call that a 5-point play for Lithuania. Well, if Coach Lamas loses this, he may look back on that moment of madness, and you can see him shaking his head there. A 5-point play against Argentina. They don't come too often. Well, he's been redeemed slightly, but that was given as a 2 from Karnišovas, so a 4-point play with 14 minutes to go, first half. Oh, my word, another holding foul, and the coach can't believe it. An off-the-ball foul. Well, it was just about off the ball. As the ball went into the low post, the referee called for holding. Yeah, there he is. And normally Ainikis, the number 14 for Lithuania, he's in early foul trouble, but on this occasion hits his opponents. And Coach Lammers has called a timeout to discuss the foul problems. So 14-9, Lithuania against Argentina. My apologies for not translating this timeout, but I would surmise that it has something to do with keep your hands off them, fellas. Lithuanian coach Jonas Kazlauskas, very experienced coach rather, and Lithuania, the strongest of the three Baltic nations. Saying that, they did fail to qualify for the European Championships in Germany in 1993 when Estonia and Latvia did qualify. But since then, Lithuania being easily the top Baltic nation. Now, was Karnishiva's foot on the line there? Very, very close. Given us 2. So the score remains 14-9 to Lithuania. So out of bounds, Lithuania after that foul. And the number 11, Osella. This time the shot was blocked legally, and no Argentinian player wanted to drop on the loose ball. So Lithuania dominating after that start by Argentina, which saw them lead by 4-0. And it's been mostly all Lithuania since. Preskevicius. That's good defense from Argentina, and the steal from Melanisio. And that's a block shot. Mascalinus, and a foul. So as far as officiating is concerned, everything going Lithuania's way at the moment. And that given as a clean block. Here we go again with the near hand. Good block, Mascalinus. Oh, lovely pass, Luke Minus. Taken out of the cylinder, legally so, according to the trail referee. And there's a foul against Lithuania. Mascalinus doesn't agree with it, as you can clearly see. The referees have got a real tough job on their hands here. A lot at stake, and tempers beginning to fray a little. Lithuanians asking for interference at one end, and a diminutive Argentinian band of supporters there, but those 5 gentlemen and 1 lady definitely enjoying themselves. Melanisio passes to the corner, and that was a wide open shot for Sconacini. Sconacini, 27 years old now, a veteran for Argentina, and Argentina needed that one. So 14-11, again given as a 2. Argentina really do need to just calm themselves down here after that coach technical. Ainikis on the turnaround, hurts them, and it's 16-11. Ainikis, as yet, without a foul, and that a very unusual situation for the 29-year-old Lithuanian, number 14. Holding foul, off the ball. Now, is it a situation where coach technical is being balanced up? Who's holding who there? Well, was that screen legal? I've got my own theory on screens, and it runs along the lines of too many screens are called illegal if they move the odd centimetre or so. All part of the game. If they're moving a metre, yeah, that's an illegal screen, but the screen moves a fraction, and why not just let it go? And number 10, that's Juan Espil, who scored 14 points against the Americans yesterday. It's a 2 for Argentina. 16-13. Lithuania lead. So despite the fact Lithuania have slight ascendancy here, they're not quite able to draw away. Oh, that's a good hustle. Was his foot out of bounds? Yes. Well spotted by the referee. Praskevicius didn't think much of the decision. Adamaitis enters the fray for the first time. Montecchia takes over at point guard for Argentina. The 3 for Argentina ties the scores up. Espil hits his first outside the arc. It's 16 apiece. Karnišovas misses by a long way from 2-point range. And Argentina, well, bit of a hope pass there. And Lithuania lucky to get away with possession. Another timeout, this time called by Lithuania. It's 16 apiece. So, pretty good recovery from Argentina. That 4-point play on the coach technical really hurt them, but they've scrambled their way back in. And just to remind Eurosport viewers that both Lithuania and Argentina lost their first game in the second round yesterday. Lithuania lost to Australia 61-71, and Argentina lost to the USA. The key factor in that Lithuanian loss to Australia was the fact that the Australian coach, Barry Barnes, came up with the goods. He denied Karnišovas possession of the ball, and Karnišovas, the number 12, the top offensive weapon for Lithuania, top scorer in this tournament so far, was restricted to 2 field goals. 5 out of 6 from the line, but only 2 field goals for Artūras Karnišovas, the number 12 for Lithuania. That was yesterday against Australia. That's why they lost. So, no repeat as yet by the Argentinians. They haven't taken note of the Australian tactics and put a man on to deny Karnišovas the ball, but that may come. I have no doubt whatsoever that coach Lamas of Argentina scouted the game yesterday, or at least had it scouted for him, and he's that lovely pass, Lukminas to Praskevicius, which was blocked. And the Lithuanian bench demanded interference and got nothing. So 16 apiece on the restart. 9 for Lithuania is Pasicius on for the first time. And there's a foul by number 10. That's one Espil. That's his second foul. There is. Well, was it a clean block on the ball? Not according to the referee. Darius Adamaitis for Lithuania restores their lead at 17-16. Adamaitis, 2 meters 2 and 24 years old. And he hits both foul shots. 18-16. Montecchia of Argentina. And the 3-point attempt misses. Karnišovas the rebound. Pasicius for Lithuania. Ainikis enjoying his time on court. Here's Karnišovas, dumps off. And Praskevicius, I'll try that again. Well, I make this his second 3-point play possibility. Here he is with the rebound, goes up strong, gets fouled, gets 2 and a bonus. 20-16. For the bonus to come for Praskevicius. Yeah, great offensive boards there from Virginijus Praskevicius, 24 years old, 206. Reported in the FIBA Monthly magazine as a player who likes to get physical. Well, he's taken a break now because there was a provisional substitution request. Preskevicius, 6 points from 2 3-point plays, and he's replaced by number 7, Salius Stombergas. That's unusual for the Lithuanians, putting Stombergas on for the first time at this stage of the game. A 3-pointer there for Sconacini narrows the margin to 21-19, and a travel call against Lithuania. So Stombergas, perhaps the Lithuanian coach Jonas Kazlakis has just kept Stombergas on the bench for a while, because he knows that when Stombergas gets in foul trouble, then Lithuania themselves are in trouble. Stombergas with Karnišovas, the main offensive threats for Lithuania. And here's Stombergas now on defense. Heinikis defending the low post. Oberto back on court, the number 12 for Argentina. Nicolai misses the 3 for Argentina. Heinikis trailing. Stombergas inside, nice move, 2 points Stombergas, his first of the game, 23-19. Well, the clowns for Lithuania are in the stands. There are no clowns on court. 23-19, Lithuania lead. Oberto inside, he's fouled by Heinikis. Fabrizio Oberto, number 12 for Argentina, got 18 points yesterday against the United States, and he is the second best rebounder in the tournament as yet. Here he is, 23 years old. He's attracted the attention of a lot of scouts, and a lot of NBA scouts too. (23-20). Oberto misses the second of the foul shots. Karnišovas. Here's Karnišovas again. Most of the things that Lithuania do revolve around Karnišovas. Here's Heinikis. And the rebound. Wolkowski rather. And a foul against Lithuania. Adamaitis. Substitutions for Argentina. Here's the foul. Adamaitis just reaching in. And coming back in for Argentina, we've got the number 7, Esteban de la Fuente. This is Montecchia. Nicola. Sconacini fouled on his way to the basket. And here's the foul, Karnišovas. Yep, good foul. Or rather, good call. So, Sconacini, he's the second most fouled player in the tournament. But he didn't play yesterday against the USA with a bad ankle, apparently. And the second most fouled player in the tournament, Sconacini, is fouled by the player who has been fouled the most in the tournament. That's Artūras Karnišovas of Lithuania. I think they're in a little bit early there. By a considerable period of time. So Sconacini, he's had some practice. And he makes it pay. So, Lithuania, but only by 1. Stombergas. Under 8 minutes. Stombergas all the way to the hoop. He's fouled. And the foul, Sconacini, immediately acknowledged by the Argentinian player. Sconacini comes across and just, well, tickles his armpit, really. And Diego Osella for Argentina re-enters the fray. So Stombergas on the line for 2. Stambergas, the number 7 for Lithuania. Hits the second. 26. Well, hits the bonus. 26 plays 22. Lafuente now playing at point. Argentina wheeling and dealing. Making a lot of changes. Sconacini. Oh, great tap there from the number 12, Oberto. 26 plays 24. The significance of this game definitely not lost on these players. They know that defeat will leave them struggling. Praskovicius on the turnaround, and the rebound, Sconacini. Coach Kazlauskas can't believe that one of his players was dumb enough to reach in there. And substitution requested on the foul shooter. 26-24, Lithuania, a narrow lead. Sconacini drawing a lot of fouls, as is the norm in this tournament. 26-25. Yeah, Sconacini puts this in, and he will be given a rest. But he fails. Now, why is the referee? The referee's blown against Lithuania again. They are giving Sconacini a lot of practice on this foul line. Well, the Argentinian contingent definitely grown since the start of the game. So Sconacini hits the second, or rather the third. He was given practice on the line, so we have a tie at 26 apiece. Sconacini takes a break and is replaced by Juan Espil, who himself scored 14 points against the US yesterday. Praskovicius. Einikis backing his man in. Holding foul inside. Is that Oberto? If it is, that's his third. Einikis. Well, Einikis making a meal of it. I think it's Oberto. Yep, and he's replaced by Nicola. So that will hurt Argentina. Oberto on 3 fouls. This is Einikis with Argentina already in the team foul situation. 27 plays 26 now in favour of Lithuania. Argentina just can't get their noses ahead. So Einikis misses the second, and the rebound taken by Osella. 27-26. Montecchia being hustled by Pazicius. It's gone to Montecchia. Here he is, Montecchia outside the arc. Into Nicola, gets his shot blocked by Praskovicius. Stambergas and Karnisovas not really functioning on all cylinders as yet in this game. But Lithuania proving me wrong. I reckon they went down the bench not too far. But it's their bench players keeping them in the game at the moment. And there's a 2 for Pazicius. It's 29-26. So it must be a woe for Argentina. The bench players of Lithuania are doing the job at the moment. There's a distinctly different story yesterday against Australia. There's number 10 for Argentina, Juan Espil, 29-28. It's the woe for Argentina must be what will happen when Karnisovas and Stambergas do start getting into the offense. So that's a nice pass inside. And talking about Stambergas, there he is on the baseline for 2. 31-28 with Stambergas being fouled with the bonus to come. Here's the foul. Just about on the arm or on the wrist bone. So a bonus to come. for Stambergas. It's 31-28. Still, that coach technical, the situation which led to a 4-point play for Lithuania is haunting Argentina, and Lithuania, or rather Argentina, have requested a timeout. It's 31-28 to Lithuania with Stambergas on the line for a bonus attempt. This fascinating encounter between two teams who lost yesterday in the first game of the second round. And a win today would put them in a very advantageous position, either team. A defeat would leave them hanging by a thread. And the Argentinian contingent in the crowd have definitely come alive in this second quarter of the game. What I was saying about Coach Lamas, he took the very brave decision to leave out Hernan Montenegro, possibly the best centre in Argentina. But his team has responded as a team, not as a group of individuals. Had a terrific expression a few weeks ago at Wimbledon. A team of greats won't beat a great team. And at the moment, Argentina are definitely playing as a team. Then the same could be said of Lithuania. 32-28, Lithuania lead by 4. Lithuanian defense has definitely stepped up, pushing Argentina outside that arc. And when the ball gets inside, then it's surrounded by 4 players. Travel, Nicola. Oh, a foul has been called. Well, the second foul against Einikis. I'll tell you what, the first indication that the referee gave after he blew the whistle was kind of a travel. But the foul was called, and Zukauskas, the religious Zukauskas, comes on court. Scored 9 points against Australia, and this man was the team's best rebounder against Australia with 9 rebounds. However, on the line for Argentina, Marcelo Nicola, 26 points yesterday against the United States, but he misses his first foul shots. And is successful with his second, 32-29, so still anybody's game. Remember this live on Eurosport. And the small crowd really egging both teams on. There's a foul, holding foul. Now, how on earth can Milanesio complain at that and had hold of the guy's arm? There we are, holding his arm. And he appeared somewhat disgruntled. Well, Sconacini, having had 3 minutes on the bench, comes back into the Argentinian lineup. And Pazicius on the line for 2. She didn't look exactly enamoured with the decision, did she? 33-29, Lithuania. Studies in concentration. And Argentina get the defensive rebound. That was Sconacini. 33-29, Lithuania by 4. So you see bottom right-hand corner there, under 4.5 minutes remaining in his first half of this second round game. The 13th World Championships for men. Oh, that's good defense, but the air ball is by Juan Espil and gratefully accepted by the Lithuanian rebounders. Praskovicius, he's fouled on his way to the basket. Sconacini reached in and held his man. I wonder what the Spanish for don't take the fake or keep your feet on the floor is. And Sconacini took the fake and fouled his man, Praskovicius. .34 plays 29. It's been a long time since Argentina scored a field goal, well before the last timeout. And Lithuania hitting from the field and the foul line regularly now. It's 35-29. The Argentinian offense has dried up dramatically, coming up to 3.5 minutes. And still no field goal. Osella misses the hook shots. The problem is Argentina have had both timeouts. So now Lithuania really should consolidate. They have a timeout left, don't need to call one. Especially as Zukauskas goes all the way to the basket and lays it up, 37-29. Suddenly, a meaningful margin has opened up. Nice little drive and a lovely soft touch from Zukauskas. Sconacini has the ball stolen away from him, 2-on-1. And the foul. Will the 2 count? Nicola fouls the drive. Pasicius has had a definite influence since he came on court. He's been fouled a couple of times, and there he was, fouled again. And that Lithuanian young lady really enjoying herself. What the significance of the jester outfits are. So 15 for Argentina is Ruben Włokowski on court for the first time. Praskovicius misses. And well, Lithuania, they definitely like getting in early on the foul shots, don't they? Look at that, 7-0. A run of play in Lithuania's favourites, in their favour. And Coach Lammers has used all his timeouts for Argentina. There's a foul. Is that Stombergus? Yeah, Stombergus, his first. Fouls the player driving the baseline. A little bit of body contact there, but enough for the referee to call a foul. Melanicio. I'll tell you what, he doesn't look 33, does he? Melanicio playing in his 4th World Championships. So he's been at this level since '86. Played in 1990 when they were staged in Argentina. 4 years ago in Toronto, and here he is in 1998 in Athens. 39 plays 31. Oh, what a lovely dump off. And the hands of, well, Praskovicius. Very lucky there to get the benefit of the referee's nod. An action replay of that one, I reckon it came off his fingertips. And Włokowski can't believe it. And what's more, Adamaitis makes them pay. So 41-31. Just about everything going Lithuania's way at the moment. And really Argentina have to regroup and don't let this margin grow too much before half-time. Under 2 minutes. And now a key period of the game for Argentina. They trail by 10 and they can't afford to let this margin grow much more. Remember Alberto, their big centre, in foul trouble on the bench. Here's Stombergus. Zukauskas. Stombergus outside the arc, misses. Oh, and a rebound gobbled up by Melanicio. Yeah, the foul, blocking foul, Stombergus. That's his second. Seems to pick up his fouls very, very quickly. So coach Lamas unable to call a timeout, so brings his players across to discuss the situation, whilst Milanesio will have 2 foul shots. Well, it's Espil who went to the hoop and drew the foul on Stombergus. 41 plays 31. When you're struggling from the field, you've got to put your foul shots in. And at least Espil put the second one in. 41 plays 32. Behind the back pass, and Preskevicius, 3-second call. Yep. Left his pivot foot inside the lane and lost the ball. Milanesio. Now Argentina need all of his years of experience. Under 1 minute, first half. Nicola had a quiet game as yet. There's an off. All that's been called a charge. An Argentinian was dumped on his backside in the lane, and for his pains, he got an offensive foul. Well, we're not going to see the action replay of it, but there's a man feeling aggrieved. Karnišovas, only 4 points to his name as yet, but comes back into the game for these closing seconds of the first half. This is Stombergus. And the ball drops into the hands of Nicola, and he's fouled. Pretty dumb foul there by Zukauskas, because Nicola will walk to the other end. That's a lazy foul by Zukauskas. Must be saying to himself, well, I can't really be bothered to walk back, so I'll just put the guy on the line instead. And coach Kazlauskas has called the last timeout of this first half. So it's 41-32 to Lithuania. Been a bit of a scrappy first half, and Lithuania have really had the rub of the green go their way with the foul calls. But they have stopped Argentina scoring largely from the field for about the last 10 minutes. Now, will this be, after the foul shots, a last 30-second play by Lithuania? Oh, we've got the court jesters, the Red Indians. And they're all supporting Lithuania. Well, neither team shooting more than 50% from the field. And Argentina have only taken 22 shots in this first half. That's just about 1 a minute, which is not good offense. Nicola hits the first, 41-33. But the rebound taken by Stombergus. Argentina have done themselves no favors from the line. Not to help themselves from the field either, for that matter. So 15 seconds remaining, first half. Pazicius, Stombergus, who will take the last shot? Stombergus looking to go inside. Pazicius, well, gets his shot blocked, and 5 seconds remaining. He'll take the last shots. There it is for Argentina. Off the glass, misses. So 41-33, Lithuania lead at the interval. And Kazlauskas unhappy with the way his team played that last offense. Not smart play, getting the shot blocked. However, Jonas Kazlauskas reasonably happy with the fact that his team, Lithuania, lead 41-33 at the interval against Argentina. When Stombergus and Einikis have been in foul trouble, and they struggled, of course, when Australia denied Karnišovas the ball. That was when Lithuania's offense dried up yesterday. They only scored 61 points against Australia's 71. So they're the top scorers in the game at this halfway point. Look at that, Karnišovas only 4 points, Stombergas 8, and the surprise package of Lithuania, Praskevicius, 10 points, top scorer for Lithuania so far. Only 1 or 2 of the games played here. The media have outnumbered the crowd at the start of the day. And Mr. Kotlieva there, the FIBA commissioner, must be very, very disappointed. I just wonder whether the Greek Federation is going to take legal action against players of the NBA. I reckon this is going to be a bit of a disaster financially for the Greek Federation. Sustained at the moment by sellout crowds when Greece play, but that's the only time that these stadiums, the Olympic Stadium and the Stadium of Peace and Friendship, the other venue, that's the only times that they are packed out, when Greece play. Here's Karnišovas. And Lithuania immediately into their passing game. Karnišovas outside the arc, hits a 3. Well, that's exactly the start Argentina didn't want. It's 44-33. So Karnišovas adds to his paltry total of 4 points from the first half, and now his total is 7. Tenacious defense from Lithuania again, but this time Oberto is in to make his total equal that of Karnišovas. It's 44-35. Nice dump inside. Ainikis looking for the hook and feigns. Lukminas. 46-35. 47-35 even. So 2 3-pointers in 2 offenses from Lithuania. And suddenly the margin 12. The defense from Lithuania is definitely the main point of the game as yet. Traveling call on Skonacini. That's good defense from Lithuania. Forced the error from Skonacini. Now Argentina, what are they made of? They cannot afford to let this margin grow much more than this. Oh, for a field goal from Argentina. And Argentina sitting back in a zone, inviting the outside shot. There's Ainikis, misses, and the rebound by Oberto. And the fast break is successful for Argentina, 47-37. Nicola, one of the main offensive weapons of Argentina, but he's only got 9 points as yet. And I tell you what, this is a bit of a scrambled fast break as well. And the defense smart enough not to foul. That was Ainikis, didn't want to pick up an early foul, but there's an offensive foul. Praskevicius hooking his man. Here we go. Yeah, just lent into his man there. I did say that Lithuania had the benefit of some 50-50 calls in the first half, and they didn't get the benefit then. And that's a foot violation, Ainikis. Lukminas off on the fast break, in full knowledge that he wasn't going to get there. So 47-37, Lithuania by 10, early in the second half of this second round game. Lithuania sticking to their man-to-man. Skonacini, did he hook his man? Yeah, you can clearly see that Karnišovas reckoned he was being hooked by that. I mean, look at that left hand there. Yep, that's a hooking foul. And there's not a lot the defense can do about that if the referee allows it. And there's an off-the-ball foul. Holding again. Is that Konishevas again? No, this time it's the number 13, Maskalenius. And the Korean referee being red hot off the ball. Maskalenius comes off on 4 fouls. Not impressed, you might say. Oh, nice pass. There's Alberto. He's fouled. Was it Einikis? Well, Einikis. No, it was number 9, Pazicius. So Alberto on 7 points as yet. And just about gets the drop. 47 plays 38. This to get back to the position we were in at half-time. An 8-point Lithuanian lead. So have Argentina weathered the storm? I'll tell you what, Lithuania picked up a couple of early fouls in the second half. So if they get to 7 quickly, then that may be to Argentina's benefit. Lithuania in their passing game again. Yep, there's a foul. Referees being red hot on any contact. There's the holding foul, Sconacini. I wonder if the thought of a make-up call went through the referee's mind there. Argentina sticking in this zone. And with a couple of shooters like Stombergus and Karnishevas out there, that's dangerous. Karnishevas into Einikis. Lukminus for 3. 50 plays 39. Now, surely Argentina can't stay in this zone too long. Here's the 3 from Lukminus. Why do teams play a zone? Well, there are several reasons. Firstly, to protect players in foul trouble. Secondly, to admit that they haven't got much. They've got a weak link somewhere on defense, and there's a well-drawn foul by Karnishevas. Or perhaps they're lazy. Well, Argentina aren't lazy. They are in foul trouble. And they are allowing too many 3-point successes from Lithuania. That's the third 3 of the second half for Lithuania. Lithuania making this zone really extend. And Stombergus, well, Lithuania being called a foul, a travel. Karnishevas travelled. Timeout, Argentina. Now, let's see if the word zone is mentioned. There's Karnishevas, 1. Well, he let the ball go. Did he travel? Perhaps the director got there just a little bit too late. Now, if we could pan in on the Argentinian coach's flipboard there, which we can't. Well, I suppose that young man there with the Jordan shirt on can say I was there. In Athens, 98. Of course, we won't be seeing many of his, or any of his NBA heroes. You may have been expecting to see the likes of Grant Hill and Chris Webber, Gary Payton, Tim Duncan, etc. But the NBA lockout has deprived him of that. What are your thoughts on the NBA lockouts? And basically, it's all about money, and salary caps, etc. The salary cap is there for a purpose. And if the fact of the matter is that half the NBA teams made a loss last year, then perhaps they're paying the players too much. The whole idea of a salary cap is to stop people spending money that they don't earn. He's putting it very simplistically, but the fact of the matter is that if you pay more than you're earning, you're going to go out of business. And no one wants the NBA to go out of business. That's a doomsday scenario, I know, but you never know. That's a 3 for Argentina from Juan Espil. 50-42. Was it a 3? Yep, it was. Just outside the arc. Now, have Argentina come out of their zone? I think they have. The 2 for Einikis. 52-42. So whatever Argentina do, then Lithuania have the response. Nice dump off there from Pasicius. There's a foul. Yeah, the foul. Pasicius. Really indicated there by the referee. Foul the driving play with his knee. Sideline Argentina. So Argentina may soon find themselves on the foul line if Lithuania get to 7 fouls quickly. But then they've got to start hitting from the foul line. But they can't let this 10-point margin grow much more before they get there. Oh, nice pass. Here's Oberto inside. Misses on the turnaround. Here's Karnishabas. Einikis inside. Lukminus outside the arc. Hits another 3. 55-42. Well, this is smart play from Lithuania. They realise that Karnishabas is probably under a lot of pressure as he was against Australia. So Lukminus has started pouring in the 3s now. That's Lukminus' 3rd 3. Oberto, nice move inside, left-handed hook. 55-44, but the problem is that Lithuania are outscoring Argentina 3-2. They're scoring 3s and Argentina limited to 2s. Nice move there from the big man, Fabrizio Oberto. Here's Lukminus again, this time attracting some attention. Lukminus looking to hit the other corner. There's Lukminus in the corner, but the pass this time goes inside to Einikis. Great inside-outside game from Lithuania. The cat and mouse ploy is working brilliantly. If Lukminus hits from 3, the defense goes out, and so they bang it into Einikis. Oh, that's a beautiful pass, but an offensive foul has been called. No score. The offensive foul. Oberto. Timeout Argentina. That's it, their 2nd of the game. Well, that was an illegal screen called. And Argentina have been forced to call their 2nd timeout in only 4 minutes of the 2nd half. They trail by 13 and now need a prayer. Well, whatever Coach Lemus decided to do in his first timeout, it didn't work. So now he has to really dig deep in his memory bank, change tactics again. I wonder if he's contemplating some kind of full court pressure. He's got to do something. Look at that, the key statistic there, the offensive rebounds. Lithuania beating Argentina on the offensive board 7-2. And it's a 3-pointer from Lukminus. Fakes to use the screen, loses the defender, hits the 3, then the next offense they dump it in to Einikis. So it's all or nothing now for Argentina. They've used both timeouts in the 2nd half. Now Argentina's problem is that if they put something like a box and one on Luke Minnis, then Karnišovas is bound to come good. And here's Karnišovas. Heinikes inside. Stombergas. Well, the three big guns of Lithuania have come up with the goods tonight. 59 plays 44. A perfect offensive game from Lithuania. And there they forced the turnover as well. Adamaitis comes back in. And really Argentina need more than a prayer or two now. Still a long time to go. But this stifling defense of Lithuania is ruling, of course, along with their superb outside game. Bounce pass inside. Stombergas is fouled. He's got two and the bonus. 61-44. Great pass there from Karnišovas. Well, there was no foul called. Well, no foul. Stombergas gets the two. Much applauded by coach Kazlaukas. Roberto inside. No foul, no score either. Stombergas inside, outside. And Lithuania regroup. Pasicius, he's fouled. Desperation time now for Argentina. And Coach Lammers can do nothing about it but put his hands in his pockets and shrug his shoulders and regain his seat on the bench. This a terrific comeback from Lithuania. There's Stombergas again, driving baseline, 63-44. Great comeback from Lithuania after that disappointing defeat yesterday at the hands of Australia. They lost by 10 in that game, but now they find themselves 19 up against Argentina. And remember, Argentina beat Australia in the first game. It's a very disconsolate-looking Argentina now. Roberto being forced outside. 11 for Argentina. Uzo Sella, a rare field goal for them. 63-46. Being forced away from the basket as well. And did he intend to shoot off the glass? I doubt it. Still, they need all the scraps they can get, especially when Heinikes hits another two at the other end. 65-46. 9 points to the big man from Lithuania. Gintaras Heinikes. Well, there's a long three from number 13, Ginobili. Ginobili, only 20 years old for Argentina, 65-49. The ball was deflected backcourt by an Argentinian player, so no violation. Stombergas into Heinikes. Heinikes is fouled. No score. Roberto, his fourth. Not a game that Roberto will recount to his grandchildren in the years to come. Another 20-year-old for Argentina, Juan Sanchez. So Argentina have number 8 and number 13 on court, two 20-year-olds. I think it may be true to say that Argentina have given up the ghost here and are giving their bench some experience. Long time to go, but can't see any way back here for Argentina. Oh, that's a good hustle. The ball was not out of bounds. So Sanchez. Nice pass inside. Here's Roberto. He's fouled. Doesn't get the drop, but Heinikes picks up a foul. So Roberto will have 2 shots, and Heinikes, I say only 3 fouls. That's an unusual situation for him. 65-49. Now, Argentina simply have to make more from the line. Saying that, they decline the invitation. but he gets his own rebound. And that's good play from Alberto. Got the rebound, threw it out for a three-point attempt. 65-52. Well, the saying is, it's not over until the fat lady sings. Argentina now trail by only 13. Remember, it was 19 not very long ago. Zainikis under some pressure. Ooh. Argentinian player trying to flop and draw the foul. And a steal from Argentina. Well, will Lithuania call a timeout soon? Very scrappy period of play from them. And what a terrible turnover from Argentina. Well, they somehow construed to throw the ball away. And as expected, the Lithuanian coach, Jonas Kazlauskas, calls a timeout just to steady the ship somewhat. He did get a little bit scrappy. And, well, Lithuania accepts all gifts that come their way. And Montica fouling Stombergus. And that gave the opportunity for a timeout to Lithuanian coach Kazlauskas. Not so long ago, it was 63-44, and now the score 65-52. So a little bit of a run of play for Argentina, but that has quickly been stopped by the Lithuanian coach. Coach Kazlauskas clearly indicating there that he wants more motion on offense. And it's worked for him so far. They were finding Luke Minus wide open outside the arc. And he obligingly hit threes galore. And now it's Lithuania possession. When they eventually finish their timeouts. Now, it'll be interesting to see what kind of defense Argentina come up with. They have to do something, and they're putting a little bit of, I was about to say they're putting a little bit of full court pressure on, but Lithuania have the ball in the front court, but Argentina have definitely stepped up their defense. So we're in the last quarter of regulation. Foul against Argentina's number 8, Juan Sanchez. Now, is Argentina's plan to get to 7 fouls quickly and put Lithuania on the line? Well, giving them 2 points is better than 3, I can assure you. Masicius. Ooh, that's suspiciously like a double dribble there. Got away with it. Oh, good rebound, good defense. So Berto gets the rebound. And a nice pass on the break. Oh, on Argentina, they missed the break. Wukowski missed the layup. Oh, that would have made it 11 points, but it remains at 13. You cannot spurn opportunities like that and hope to win games like this. And Montecchia pointing. Well, I reckon he's trying to draw the referee's attention to the fact that there was no foul called on the last Argentinian offense, but there was no foul, and that on the halfway line is a foul. So Montecchia, his third, still remonstrating with the official, and this is Thomas Pasicius. Well, if they keep putting them on the line and they get less than 2, if Argentina, that is, keep putting Lithuania on the line and the team in white get less than 2 every offense, then who knows? It's 66-52. But Argentina must score their layups, their foul shots, and must stop giving the ball away. Well, there's an invitation to take a 3. So no confidence there. And Lithuania have stepped up their defense again. That is goaltending. And I'll tell you what, lucky not to get a foul as well. There's a pushing foul, and here comes the goaltending. The ball is on the way down, and 2 points. So 66 plays 54. Sanchez just picked up his second foul, has put a Lithuania on the line in the hope, more than expectation, that the shooter will get less than 2. It's 67-54. Argentina still well supported, and the tactic on that occasion didn't work. 68-54. Oh, Argentina just started throwing up prayer shots now. So back to 14, the margin that is. And the referee not been sucked into calling the foul there. Avanitis into Stombergus. Stombergus is fouled, but they put a good shooter on the line this time. Yeah, the referee just talking to the Argentinian coach there, Lamas. I think he knows exactly what's going on. All legitimate tactics, of course. And Mascalinus comes back in. So Stombergus. Of course, having said that he's a good foul shooter, he lets me down and misses the first, but not the second. 69-54. Now Argentina have got to take a good shot, and then if they're going to foul, they've got to foul early. Good tie-up and good defense, good scramble from Lithuania, but a steal from Argentina. Now, if this 3 goes in, will we see some pressure? It goes in, 69-57. Still no front court pressure from Argentina. Oh, who'd be a coach? There's the foul. Oh, it's been called intentional. Yeah, referee knew exactly what was going on there. So, unsportsmanlike foul, which results in 2 shots and possession. Referee's had enough of this. Lukminas back on. Great 3-point shooting from him in this game. And here's the foul. Yep. Debatable as to whether it was unsportsmanlike. The player who committed the foul meant to do it. But legitimate tactics. But the referee had a little discussion with the coach and had enough of these tactics. So he's given 2 shots and possessions. 71 plays 57. Very interesting debating point, that, as to whether it should have been 2 shots in possession. I've seen a lot worse. I'll tell you what, if the referee gave that against the Americans in similar circumstances, he'd get a roasting. Travelling against Zukauskas. Argentina's number 11, Osella, back in. Lithuania by 14. Under 7 to go. Now, Argentina really have been exposed as a team of limited players, whereas most of the Lithuanians will shoot if given time and space. These Argentinians lacking in confidence. And Lithuania know exactly how long he's left on that shot clock. There's a foul. And the thing is that Lithuania managed to take a long time off the shot clock. And you can see the ironic expression on the face of coach Julio Cesar Lamas of Argentina. Praskovicius. 72-57. So no matter what Argentina employ, what tactics they employ, Lithuania have the perfect riposte. Almost. 72 plays 57. So this has been a good response by Lithuania. They knew that defeat would leave them precariously placed as far as the quarterfinals go. And this will leave Argentina, who have an easier game, supposedly anyway, tomorrow against Brazil, in that precarious position. So the 3 from Montecchi makes the score 72-60. I don't think I'm counting my chickens. I think Lithuania have got this pretty well sewn up. And saying that, they've got a break here. Well, Argentina have got a break, but then Argentina can throw the ball away. Not smart play from Argentina. That's twice they've done that now. Look at the score, 72-60. It could so easily have been 72-66 or whatever. And that's really lack of poise on the break. Speed in the backcourt, poise in the front court. And that's what Argentina haven't got. Karnišovas going inside, getting fouled unceremoniously. Referees have had a tough job here, and they've both done pretty well. Not being intimidated, and you cannot accuse them of being inconsistent. For English viewers, many National League clubs will have got a letter recently from Phil Waghorn, who was asked for a meeting to discuss the refereeing at National League level. Phil was complaining that one game he would get referees who would blow the game like netball, and the next game it would be like American football. And I have to sympathise with Phil, because to my mind, one of the worst aspects of refereeing is the inconsistency. A lot of people say to me, why do you hate referees? Well, I don't hate referees, I hate bad referees. And these two gentlemen today have done a pretty good job. Refereeing, of course, possibly one of the hardest parts of basketball. There are players out there who are big, quick, athletic, and they're playing in what is relatively small confine, small space. 10 big athletic players playing in an area 28 meters by 15, which means contact is almost inevitable. And it's the referee's job to judge what contact inhibits skill and what doesn't. He will call the contact that he thinks is hurting the skill, and he will hopefully ignore the contact that is meaningless. Most of the time anyway. Tough job refereeing. Right, under 5 to go. Luke Minus this time going inside, and that's goaltending, so the 2 counts. Another 2 to Luke Minus. Here we go. Now is it on the way down? Well, it's on the glass, so that's 2 points. Yeah, the shooter was fouled then. Now, will that be 3 foul shots? Well, he can't be asking for a timeout because he's had 2. He's actually asking if that won't be considered a technical foul there. Just a reminder for Eurosport viewers that we're playing the old rules with all the present-day rules in this tournament. The new rules, which will come into force after this tournament, include 5 timeouts in the game, 3 in the second half, and the clock will stop in the last 2 minutes of regulation and any overtime periods. And 2 other rules will be the introduction of an unsportsmanlike technical foul, and also 3 seconds can't be called when the ball is out of bounds. That's a smart rule there, smart rule change rather. You don't often see 3 seconds called when the ball is out of bounds, and from now on it won't be a call. Well, those Argentinian fans looking a little bit disappointed now. They've seen the game well and truly snatched away from them by Lithuania. From 23-22 behind, Argentina stopped scoring from the field and Lithuania gradually edged away. And this man on the line, Karnišovas, has played a really good team game today. Not that he doesn't always play a good team game, but his personal offense hasn't been particularly inspiring today. But his teammates have responded well. 77 plays 64. Just about 4 minutes remaining, so Lithuania by 13. And the rebound taken, and 2 converted, so 77-66, the closest it's been for a long time. Does he still believe? Coach Lamas, that is. I can't see Lithuania throwing this one away. Well, they attempt to dunk it and miss it, and here are Argentina on the break. And there's a foul, so there'll be 2 foul shots. Now, if these are successful, then the margin will be back to single figures. Here's Stombergis going for the dunk, missing. No foul, and Mascalinus has fouled out on 5 fouls, so he'll take no further part in it. Came to this tournament, the 195 off guard, a 27-year-old, as a bit player, and oh, she enjoyed his fouling out. Bit of Wrigley's in there as well. 77-66, Lithuania lead. Just under 4 minutes remaining. So 3 players fouled out, 1 for Lithuania, and Montecchia and Sanchez for Argentina. Sanchez, a 20-year-old, fouling out. So Lithuania leads 77-66. This is their second and final timeout. Here's the replay of the foul. There's the rebound from Osella. He goes up, he's fouled, gets 2. Is there a bonus to come? I think that was a replay of an earlier foul situation. Now, Coach Kazlauskas, and that's Coach Lamas, really having to earn their corn in this tournament. Both teams, of course, in with the possibility of lifting the title. Lithuania, remember, have already beaten the United States. That doesn't mean an awful lot in the grand scheme of things, but Lithuania, minus Sabonis, Marciulionis and Kurtinaitis, can still win the world title, as of course can Argentina. A loss here is not an absolute disaster. It's bad, but not an absolute disaster. They could still win it. (77-67). Osella. 77-68. Ginobili on the line. The margin only 9. That's an offensive foul. Well, Argentina get possession with 3.5 to go. The Argentinian brigade has woken up. Well, I must confess, only 2 minutes ago I'd written them off. And am I going to be made to eat my words? It's 77-68. Argentina have possession. A 3 here would instill a little bit of panic in Lithuania's ranks, but Argentina conspires somehow to give the ball away. Pasicius calming things down. Karnišovas offering him a screen. And a steal, yeah. Argentina off on the break, here we go. And the foul, and 2 and a bonus. 77 plays 70 with a bonus to come. Well, if Lithuania lose this, then they will have thrown it away. That's a big if. They still lead by 7. But Argentina making more than a fist of this. And it was Pasicius who had to foul, but he fouled and the ball dropped in, giving Argentina an opportunity for a bonus. 77-70, 77-71. It's back to 6. Remember, it was 19. Stombergis trying to take command. Now, will Lithuania panic. They've got some experienced old heads amongst their ranks, Stombergus and Karnišovas. Heinekus is on the bench. Here's Pasicius. 5 on the shot clock. Will they look for the foul? And that's an Argentinian possession. Wow, Pasicius, what was he doing? I tell you what, I think he was looking for the foul. And there's a man who's suddenly begun to believe. Pasicius going nowhere. And it deflected off his fingers as well. The veteran Milanesio. She believes. She being one of the youngest Argentinian supporters in the crowd. Oh my word! Espil throws the ball away. And Coach Lamas can even smile at that. Espil was inside and here he goes, throws the ball to nobody. Well, he threw it to the ref. Look at the disappointment on the faces of those Argentinian fans. How on earth did Espil manage that? Who was he throwing it to? Well, this is a replay of Pasicius going inside, going nowhere. And well, another timeout has been called. How many timeouts are we allowed in this game? 77-71, Lithuania lead, but only by 6. My word. Well, this game was just sort of meandering to an easy win to Lithuania. And now it's all up for grabs again. Look at the expression on the coach of Jonas Kazlaukas. Now that is now anger on his face. Anger and disbelief. His assistant coach Antanas Sirika, he can't believe it either. But luckily for them, they've got possession. Well, the starters and the bench players don't mean an awful lot there. There's not a lot of difference. And some front court pressure. Now, that is a very good foul by number 13, Emmanuel Ginobili, but that is more intentional than the one that was called earlier as an unsportsmanlike. And yet, only 2 shots have been given. That's what hurts players when the referees do that. Now, earlier on, I can't blame the referees for making a point about giving an unsportsmanlike, but if he's going to do it once, then the foul that has just occurred was even more intentional. I hesitate to say even blatant. And Karnišovas hits the first. 78-71 now, Argentina. And they conspire this time to not give the ball away. There's a long time to go in basketball terms. There's the foul. Yep, so they get 2 foul shots. Heinekus, it was he who fouled. Number 14, Heinekus, I think that's his 4th. And if that was deliberate play on the part of Argentina to take Heinekus out, and it's smart. Foul shots may just come back to haunt Argentina. They struggled on the line in the first half. And here's Ginobili hitting the second, but only the second. 78 plays 72. Some front court pressure now from Argentina. Now they need an early foul, but they've got to foul the right player. Here's Stombergus looking to keep possession. Oh, that's smart play from Jaskevicius. Dumps it out, running the clock down. Argentina have been forced. And Jaskevicius all the way to the hoop. Now that will settle a few Lithuanian nerves. 80 plays 72. Alberto daren't foul because he's on 4. Yes. And Argentina respond quickly with a 3. 80-75. There's the foul. They've put Jaskevicius on the line, a young man. Ginobili picks up his 3rd. Jaskevicius, he's only 22. Whether that was in the mind of the player who fouled or not, I hesitate to think, but as it turns out, it's smart. Jasikevičius hits the first, 81-75. Still a long way to go, and Argentina have just hit a 3. So it's not over yet. Jasikevičius hits the second as well, 82-75. The game has come alive, light rather, in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Argentina, if they hit another 3 here, there's the long 3 attempt, which is woefully short in the last minutes. Now Argentina need to foul now, but Lithuania won't let them. There's the foul. No, nothing called. Desperation stakes for Argentina. They can still do it, but Lithuania throwing the ball away around smartly. And look at that hook shot from Ainikis, a veteran with a lot of experience. 84-75. Well, that's now it as far as Argentina are concerned. Ainikis the block, and Lithuania's possession. A gallant effort from Argentina in the closing stages, but it was all to no avail. There are less than 30 seconds remaining, and Lithuania lead by 9. The crowd there, the supporters of Lithuania, well, they began biting their nails, but, well, another timeout. Has someone changed the rules in this tournament? Timeout this time from Argentina, and the cardboard cutout of Sabonis. He even had a smile on his face. There's no smile on the face of that Argentinian lady, though. So it's 84-75. Lithuania, after a hiccup yesterday against Australia. That was their first defeat in this tournament so far yesterday, 71-61 at the hands of Barry Barnes' Australians. But they've made up for it here, and look at that hook shot from the veteran Ainikis. 29 years of age, 2 meters 8. Let's call it 6'10", and really sealed the victory for Lithuania. We're in the last 20 seconds. Lithuania lead by 9. And points difference meaningless now in this second phase. The win is what Lithuania wants and what they're going to get. Here's Ainikis, Jasikevičius, and with 1 second to go, it's 84-75. Lithuania, they win this crucial second round game. They had a little bit of a hiccup, felt a little bit disturbed. About four minutes ago, Argentina made a great fist of it, but in the end, a 9-point win for Lithuania. So that will almost certainly put Lithuania towards the top half of the quarter-final draw, and Argentina must now beat Brazil and then wait on other results to find out what they're going to do in the quarterfinals, if in fact they will take up a spot in the quarterfinals. It's still possible, but Lithuania, the whip hand in this game. So, a game that had just about everything. Lots of fouls, some great offense from Lithuania. They made Argentina pay for going into the zone early in the second half. And Lukminas came on with 3 three-pointers that really stretched Lithuania's lead. They led by as many as 19 at one time. But then Argentina...